Life got you down? Feeling a bit frustrated? Not sure what to do? Well, you have stopped by the right place. Living Life Victoriously is your station for inspiration, encouragement, and refueling. Here we will discover together what it means to live a victorious life with your host, Victoria E. Henderson. I want you to know that you are not alone. So sit back, relax, just for a little while, and let's talk about it.
Good evening. Good evening. Let me get back to where I can see the comments. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, one. Good evening, all. You have tuned in tonight. Is this the second? Yep, this is the second Monday in July to Living Life Victoriously. I am your host, Victoria E. Henderson. And I am just so grateful to be here one more time. I'm telling you, this is the place where we do gather to talk about what it means to live a victorious life. And like I say, it's not my way, but it's the God way. And we don't have to wait, I think, until we get over yonder high in the sky to enjoy life. But, you know, if we help each other along this journey called life, then I think that's what makes it a victorious life. So here on our show, we have testimonies, we have greetings, we have stories. We just do it all here. I sing sometimes just to let you know that you can make it. Good evening, Nakayeta. How are you? I'm going to take one quick second to share again. Share the live. You are going to want to hear this wonderful person I have waiting in the wings tonight. I am so excited. Take care of some housekeeping. This broadcast is being seen on ALH Broadcasting right here on Facebook and YouTube, as well as Living Life Victoriously's channel, which is also on YouTube. So go ahead now, like and share so others can join in the conversation. Also, this show will be replayed this coming Saturday at 6 p.m. here on Facebook. And of course, you can always see the repeat. So again, like and share so others can know that we are on. I'm glad you're good, Nakayeta. Thank you. And I know you're going to share. That is my cousin, Nakayeta. She always comes in, and I appreciate you so much. So again, welcome. We, a lot of things have happened in the last 2 weeks since we've been here. We've had a lot of deaths of some of the stars, and one in particularly, thank you, Nakayeta, one in particular, the passing of Malcolm Jamal Warner. I mean, that has really weighed on me a little bit, but it has also reminded me of the brevity of life. And I have started, I remember sharing with you guys that I had a book that I got from Amazon, which is called Information that I Need to Share with My Family. And the book has spaces for passwords, for websites, for my credit cards, and even my final wishes. It's got a space for that. It's got pockets in the back where I could put my insurance policies and everything about the car. I mean, it's all going to be in a concise place when I finish. So I actually started the book on Sunday, and I hope it's a lot of information to gather. So it's going to take me a minute, but when it's done, I mean, it has a place for your health directives, power of attorney directives, if you have it. I mean, it's literally everything. If you own real estate. So I would encourage you all to do those things to get your houses in order, because we just never know. It's a subject we don't like to talk about, but I think it's very important. I would not want my children to struggle about knowing what to do. So I think this is the gift that I'm going to give them, and they may not want to hear it, but no, we don't ever want to hear it and talk about it, but I think it's really important. So just remember to do that. So I just, how have you all been since we've been last together? I've been okay. It's been okay. I was supposed to go visit my mom last week, but I was unable to travel, and I wasn't feeling great, and pain level was a little high. But I was able to rest, and I'm feeling so much better, and I'm just grateful that I am here tonight. We at tonight. I'm telling you, go ahead and tell somebody about the show, because I am a dear friend of mine is here tonight, and I'm going to at this time read her bio, and then we're going to bring her up. Oh my gosh, her name is Dr. Melissa Watson. And let me tell you about a little bit about Melissa. Dr. Melissa Watson is a wife, mother of 6 sons, and a woman of deep faith who has dedicated her life to uplifting others through service, education, and advocacy. As a lifelong educator and the director of student support services for Durham Public Schools, Melissa leads with compassion and conviction to ensure that all students, especially those who are most vulnerable, receive the care, attention, and opportunities they deserve. With over 20 years' experience in education, Melissa has served as a teacher, principal, and district leader. Her work is grounded in the belief that every child is filled with purpose and potential. And she spent her career removing barriers so students and families can thrive. She now leads efforts across the district to promote equity, safety, fairness, holistic well being, and to reduce discipline disparities. She champions for justice through love and leadership. Melissa is also the founder of SOARS, and that is an acronym, SOARS, a consulting firm devoted to helping communities heal and grow through intentional, equity driven practices. She is a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated and the Kappa Gamma Pi Honor Society. She holds multiple advanced degrees in education and leadership. Yet, of all her accomplishments, Melissa treasures most her roles as a wife and a mother and a vessel for God's grace. Melissa, her life and her work are testament to the miracles that unfold when faith meets action. Okay, that is the paper version of my girl, and I'm gonna welcome to the stage Dr. Melissa Watson.
Hello, hello, hello.
Wait. I'm trying to get it to you. Yay, welcome.
I love it. Oh, that is nice.
I've been wanting to do that forever.
Oh, snaps, as they say, the young folks say, snaps.
And you are the first one. Welcome to Living Life Victoriously. We've been talking about this for a long time.
Yes, ma'am. We have been. I just
right.
thank you so much for allowing me this time to spend with you. You have always been one of my sheroes. For as long as I have known you, I have admired your tenacity, just your positive spirit, and your just can-do attitude. And so when I think of people that I admire and respect the most, you are absolutely at the top of the list.
Thank you.
So I'm honored to be here.
And we're going to be transparent here. We're just going to have a conversation, and I want you guys to know that Melissa came into the district, and I supported her and as administrative assistant. And then, things shifted a little bit, and then she became my direct supervisor. I was her admin again.
Yes.
Then things shifted once again. We worked together at the Office of School Relations, where we were addressing parent concerns at the district. Mm-hmm. And that was really fun for us. We enjoyed that immensely because it was a new thing.
That's right.
And we loved it. And then things shifted again.
As they do.
and I went into another department. Melissa
Mhm.
stayed where she was, and then things shifted once more, and
As
she
they
moved,
must.
and she moved out of the building. So we do not see each other as often as we would like, but our friendship has endured over the years, and I'm so grateful for you. I
And I
really am.
remain dependent on you for all things finance. Let's be clear that you remain the master of all things with dollars and cents, and you keep us all straight.
I, I try. I
So do
try.
not be humble in this moment because you
You
know how
know,
much it matters.
Melissa, I when I had a review maybe about 2 years ago, and in that review, my supervisor at the time said Victoria handles millions of dollars for the
Yes.
district. Do you know that I did not realize until she said it that I do?
Nothing moves. You got to remember, if you don't do what you do, nothing else happens on behalf of children or schools. That's just the
Right.
truth of it, right? And
Right.
so, yeah, you don't realize the impact. And so I hope part of our time together is, as you say, living life victoriously.
Yeah.
And that is a lot of service to others. But
Yes.
please remember that as you serve others, you just make so much more possible than you can ever imagine.
Exactly.
And people take a lot for granted, but your role is not one that we could ever take for granted. You make
Thank
things
you.
happen.
Thank you. I try.
You
I try.
do. You don't try,
And
you
I
do.
do it. I know I do. I do. I
Yes.
do. Like I said, I can't, I'm not gonna sit in the shadows on that one. But when I saw it in paper and
Mhm.
black and white, like I actually do handle millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars for
Mhm.
multiple people and departments. Remember, it's not just a straight line.
That
And
is
that
so
impact is district wide.
right. And it is about the children,
Yes,
ordering the
ma'am.
books and then
Yes,
making sure the
ma'am.
bills are paid. We
That's
gotta
right.
pay these vendors, gotta pay these people.
And keeping those relationships, just as you
Yes.
described, we've had a
Yes.
relationship that has shifted through multiple roles and scenarios, but
Yes.
relationships, and they
Yes.
make things happen as well.
I thank you. I thank you for that because that is it's really important, and you are a testimony to that because I really do try every day to make sure that everybody I come in contact with leaves me with a positive experience. And
Yes.
and I try to be kind because you never know what someone is going through. And even though I'm going through something, I don't have to put that on anybody else.
And you know how many times you had families call when you were in the
Yes.
Office of School Relations and you this were in the front seat, right?
Yeah.
Because you were the first person that they talked to, and they
Right.
were often in the midst of some level of crisis to deal with
Right.
their precious children. And the
Yes.
times all you could do was listen, right?
Yes.
You couldn't
Yes.
offer immediate solutions. Sometimes people just want to be heard. And as you do in this
Exactly.
show, just people want to be heard. They want to
Yeah,
know that they're not alone. And
that's
so
right.
I thank you for the show as well.
Thank you. Thank you. So enough about me and
Yes.
and
Yes.
our little background.
Mhm.
And I wanted you to come on because you definitely have a testimony to share. And I called it on the flyer the miracle of melody. You have,
Yes!
yes, the miracle. I should have said the miracle that is melody.
You cannot stop me now, honey. You should never have said that. I got a lot to say.
So tell us tonight, who is Melody to you?
So, in your intro, you talked about the fact that I am the mother of boys, multiple boys,
Right.
all the way from 21 to, I don't want to tell secrets, but honestly have a son that's 32 years old. I can't believe it, right? And
Wow.
so I have been with men, even our dog is a male dog.
Oh,
And
wow. You
so,
are surrounded by men.
testosterone overload, right? And
Yes.
so Melody Nicole is my first grandchild, first and only, but also the first girl. And
Oh,
so when I tell you, I could not believe people often describe having a grandchild as a love that you've never known. And
yes.
when I first put eyes on her, I felt like my body was coming out of itself. The
Oh,
love I felt for her was so deep, even beyond, even like you give birth to a child and
yes.
they lay the child on your chest and you
Yes.
just, but this was even beyond that in full transparency. It
Yes,
was
ma'am.
an experience. The love I felt, the protectiveness I felt for her was nothing like I ever even experienced, even through all the multiple births I've had,
Yeah,
and
your
having that
boys. Yeah.
baby, on my chest. Having a grandchild is something pretty doggone special. But
Wow.
one of the things that I don't know if your listeners know, is that Melanie was born at 1 pound 4 ounces.
No, they don't
Mm,
know. I was waiting for this
yes.
show. I didn't want to tell anything.
Yes,
You had to
I
tune in.
need them to understand that. And so
Wow.
in sharing that with you, I wanted to share it with others, because
Yes.
we often talk about faith, and then, faith and works, and, and praying. If you're going to pray, you can't worry, you can't live in
Yes.
both places at the same time. And that how much, the faith of a mustard seed, like all of the phrases and verses that we talk about with faith. But when you feel like that faith is compelling another life, another soul that matters to you beyond
Yes.
anything you've ever known,
Wow.
then you truly understand faith, at least for me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I can say that I have always loved God and always felt blessed, even through the trials and tribulations.
Yes.
But for this particular journey with Melody, she was the smallest baby in the NICU. She actually stayed there for like 5.5 months.
Wait,
And
wait.
people,
Let's
yes,
repeat. Please repeat her weight at
one
birth.
pound 4 ounces. She was, and people describe things like being able to hold the child in the palm of your hands and all of that. But she was so tiny that we weren't even able to do any of that, because there were tubes, and everybody working around her. And then they wouldn't talk about her as much because nobody knew, because she was such, in those first moments, nobody knows what really to say to the parents, because on one hand, the
Yes.
doctors and nurses, want to be very positive, but then they're concerned because, that kind of, she's 12 inches long, the length of a ruler.
But
And
you said 1 pound for. I really can't get past
you
that.
can't
That she
process
wasn't
that.
even 2 pounds.
Not even 2 pounds, not even. Um, and for a long time, in true transparency, I couldn't talk about it. And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because this was truly a faith journey.
Right.
And when you're on that kind of a journey, you can't take any, for me, let me speak from my own personal journey.
Okay. Okay.
I could not allow any naysayers, any tisking, any pity,
Yeah.
any, the things that people do, they don't do it to hurt or to harm.
Yes.
They do it
Yes.
unintentionally. So I understand that. But for me, this had to be a very insular experience with their parents.
Hmm.
I was there when she was born. I actually was there in the room because my daughter-in-law was having pain, and we thought it was just back pain. So I was the one, just she and I went to the hospital. Just she
Okay.
and I were together through the entire journey. So they
Wow.
allowed me, when they transported her from the hospital in an ambulance, when they knew they couldn't stop the preterm labor, they
Yes.
put her in an ambulance, and I had to follow the ambulance because they had to take her to Carolina, and we were in Charlotte at the time.
Oh,
They had to
okay.
take her where they had the level of NICU care
Yes.
because she
Yes.
was going to be born so early.
Oh, they knew the baby
So,
was coming. They
yes,
couldn't
right.
stop it.
So I
Okay.
did not leave that hospital. I don't know what I looked like, but I didn't care. It was just, this is a journey. I was not going to stop that one. And my son,
Wow.
the baby, Melody's father, is a police officer. He was on duty that night because he
Okay.
works third shift. So it was
Wow.
just the baby's mother and I. Stephanie is the baby's mother.
Right. And so this
Just
was
the two
totally
of us.
unexpected.
No, I was just there visiting. And I just happened, because we had been shopping that day, buying maternity clothes and picking out things. And throughout the day, she had said, "Oh, my back, my back." But because Melody was so tiny, it wouldn't have been the kind of pain that you and I might have experienced in labor, because she was tiny. Remember, she wasn't even barely showing. We had just had her gender reveal maybe a couple of weeks before. And so something told me, don't go, don't lie down. You go check on that girl. And so I said, "Yeah, Stephanie, have you talked to the doctor?" And she said, "Yeah, the doctor said it will if it continues." But my soul just couldn't rest. So I kept checking on her. And then finally I said, "You know what, Stephanie, we're going to go to the hospital, because I'm not feeling good about this continuous pain." And so when we went, the doctor came and spoke to me privately and told me that she was in labor, and that they didn't believe that they could stop the labor.
Oh, wow.
And so they did take her in an ambulance to the hospital, where they could, it was Caroline's Medical, where they could have a NICU with that level of care, because they knew the baby was going to be born. And so we sat there, and they were giving her, they give you, what's that called? The hormone treatments, steroids. When your baby's going to be born early, because they wanted the lungs to develop and do as much as they could. And then when she was there, I was right there with her. And so my son and I finally, we contacted him after we learned that we were not going to be able to stop the labor. And so we got pictures and everything, and then we made it a celebration. All the family came, but only I also wanted to give them their private time. But we kept it very insulated, because we needed, with every ounce of our being, to know and understand that God was in control of Melody's journey, come what may. He was in control, and that we could not allow anything other than positivity and celebration for her life to be a part of the journey. So as she got older and things of that nature, I started to share, and send things out, and invite more people into this. But when you have nothing but faith, faith, that's all I could allow into my spirit, was thanking Father for watching over her, for her lungs to develop, for her brain to develop. We wanted to make sure she had 10 toes, and we couldn't see them hard. Counting them toes and fingers, girl. We were counting toes and fingers. It just had to be a celebration. We could not allow a moment of tisk tisk or, "Oh, I'm so sorry," or any of that into that space. And so I was blessed to be one of the special people who got to visit her and hold her. And so, I wasn't at work during that time. I had the support of an incredible team, and they allowed me to work from home so that I could work in the NICU. Had a waiting room. And so I was able to work in the NICU waiting room, because you can only visit for so many hours and so many people. And the people, the nurses and everything were just incredible. And they celebrated from her getting on the bubble machine, to her getting her lungs growing and developing, how much she was able to breathe on her own, the things that people don't even think about.
We take for granted, I'm sure.
We don't even think about. We were able to celebrate all of that every step of the way. And as you see, I hope that you were able to see some of the pictures I shared with you. She is a bouncing baby girl with a strong spirit. She's going to give her Gigi, because she
oh my goodness.
She's taking steps and getting ready to walk, but she is bright and vibrant and beautiful. And I couldn't be happier. But
let me backtrack a minute. How much did she weigh when you were able to first hold her?
I think by the time I was able to hold her, in true transparency, she was only at that point probably about 2 pounds, 3 ounces.
Oh, wow.
Yes, ma'am. When she came home, she was just hitting the six between like 6 pounds, 7 ounces. So
Oh,
it
wow.
took her that long.
Yeah.
So when you talk about baby weight, you're measuring it in ounces when they're that little.
Yes.
You are measuring in ounces. So we were buying preemie clothing that was too big for her,
Yeah.
that she couldn't fit, and then just giving her a bath. It was just, everything was just such a miracle. Because
Wow.
remember, she was attached to machines. And so in order to hold her, you had to put your hands through the incubator,
Yes.
first, just to touch her. And then finally she was able to come out and be put on your chest. And even then she was just the size of your hands,
Oh,
just
wow.
the size of your hands, just holding her,
Melissa. Oh
and
my
she would just
gosh.
sink into you. And that level of protection for this tiny human being. Um,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
all you want to do is take away all her pain and
Yes.
anything that she might be experiencing. And I think
Mhm.
that's why the protectiveness comes into play.
Yeah.
So it is just something to behold. There's something to behold.
Wow.
It was the only thing I could say. It is like seeing one of the miracles in the Bible and experiencing it for yourself
Wow.
personally.
Wow. Did
Seeing it
she
for
have
yourself
any
personally.
complications as she grew?
As she grew, her biggest complication, she actually came home still with the lung machine.
Okay.
So it took a long, long, long time for her lungs to develop. And so the first time my baby sat, I had to have a lesson that was recorded by my son on how to change the lung machine, and how to measure
Yes.
and how to walk around with her and all that kind of stuff. So it was
Oh
no
my
small
gosh.
feat. Every aspect of having a baby, if you want to triple it by anything that could potentially go wrong. But she was still, like, just as joyful and busy, but she
And
had to
fighting.
have that the lungs. You've seen it on television with the lung, the
Yeah,
prongs
with
in the
the
nose,
nostril, the nasal
the
thing.
nostril, yeah.
Yeah, the nostril
Still
things, and
had
then
that. Yep.
go around her. Oh my, go
We
around
still
ears
had
and stuff.
that. And so,
Okay.
but we were able finally, as we saw in the photo, she's free of all of that and just thriving, truly
Oh my
thriving.
gosh. I
You can't
know.
tell me nothing about my God. That's all I can tell folks. You can't
Okay.
tell me nothing about my God, because she was just our living miracle. And all of
Wow.
us have been through, a lot of trials and tribulations. And
Yes.
what we have to remember, for me, is that God always answers prayers, right? But sometimes his answer isn't the one we want to hear in that particular
One
moment.
here. Amen.
You know what I
Amen.
mean? He always answers our prayers. But for us, about our baby Melody, he said, I'm going to show you what miracles are like in 2000. At that time, it was 24. And now in
Uh-huh.
25 for her to come home. You tell me, we just had her first birthday.
Yes.
Wow. I'm talking about a celebration. And so at that time, we were able to really show the full journey, and just to pause and to thank him. And I will thank him over and over and over
Yes.
and over and
Yes.
over
Yes.
again. Even now, my mother-in-law just recently passed.
Yeah.
And so we're going through that loss, but she was a strong, faith-filled Christian woman. And so we
Sincere
celebrate her
condolences.
life as well. We celebrate her life.
Yeah.
Just a beautiful human being. And so, God life is can be challenging.
Yeah.
It can be something kind of scary even sometimes,
Yeah, I'm sure
but
that was scary,
it was
Melissa.
very scary. But I just couldn't.
Yeah.
It was, and the thing I think most that I can remember most is that it is not about me.
Right.
No matter my fears, my worries, I couldn't allow any of those to enter that room.
Wow.
So every time I entered that NICU, I wiped my feet.
Come on.
Anything that was there, I wiped them and left them on the other side of that door. And when I walked in there, I was happy and joyful and ready to hear about today's victory.
Exactly.
It was that day's victory.
Wow. Well,
Yes.
let me ask you, and of course, we always are in true, transparency.
Hmm.
Did you have days when you really thought she wasn't going to make it?
And I have to be very, very honest with you because I lost my mother very young. And
Okay.
so I remember praying then and just asking God for her to live. And at that time, his answer was no, right? In the sense that
Hmm.
she went to be with him. And
Right.
so I remember all the times when I was praying for my mother to live because she had been hospitalized with kidney failure and some other health
Yes.
concerns. And
Okay.
so I remember being afraid that if I didn't take every single moment I had to pray, that I might
Hmm.
be responsible for her death, right?
Wow. Wow.
And I remember being afraid that sometimes when you pray and God says no, how will I
Yes.
manage that pain, right,
Yes.
of his response? And you think about, they say that God wastes nothing in your life.
Amen.
And I honestly can say that in those moments with Melody, I had complete acceptance of whatever his answer might be as a result
Wow.
of
Wow.
having gone through that with my mother. But
Yes.
the fact that he might say no didn't even enter my mind. I was in there and I was thanking him for what was already done. I was thanking
Amen.
him for her organs. I was thanking him for her sight because all of that comes into play when you have a
Yeah.
baby. You don't know about sight, you don't know about hearing, organs are still developing, you don't
Yes.
know about lungs, you don't know what's going to be, right?
Right.
So all I could do was thank him for all of it. And I honestly remember the fear, the difference with my mom and being afraid, being very, very scared of taking
Hmm.
a moment to breathe that wasn't a part of a prayer and just being scared all the time while she was
Right.
in the hospital. But with
Right.
Melody, it was so very different. Um, I was just certain, and I just spent all that time thanking him for what I believe was already done. And
Amen. That's
so
faith. That's faith
I
right there.
it's something, right? Our faith journey,
Hmm.
because we in that in accepting whatever his answer may be, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
understanding that sense of knowing that he has and knows what's best, right?
Right.
And
Right.
I think we're all on that journey constantly. And I would never wish that kind of experience that I had early in life on anyone
Right. Right.
ever. But when I tell you that all of that experience came into play when it came
Yes.
to my grandchild and being able to pray with her with unfiltered faith, without
Yes.
fear, it showed up for me.
Amen.
It showed up
Amen.
for me in that moment.
Amen.
Um, I
Whew.
just I can't and it happens all the time, right? Just in life as we go through our trials and tribulations. I promise you, if you don't take anything else from our time to this evening, let it be that God truly wants your good. That Jeremiah 29:14, that's mine, right?
Amen.
Um,
Yes.
he really
Yes.
wants being good for you. And trusting and having that allows you to go through, even on your worst days,
Yes.
knowing that with God, it's going to be all right.
That's right. That's right.
It's
And
going to be
whatever
all
he
right.
allows, that
Yes.
that is that truly is the way to live a victorious life, Melissa. That
It truly
you have
is.
just got the meat of it. That if
Yes.
we trust God, if we love God like we say we do, that no matter what happens, and we were talking before the show about
Mhm.
sermon I heard yesterday about being in that dark cloud. If you're in that
Yes.
dark space, God is still in there with you. And the
Yes.
Bible gives us examples of him being in the dark. So the
Yes.
dark is not a scary place as we think it is.
No,
So
ma'am.
your dark place was watching your grandbaby struggle. But
Oh, honey.
in that dark space, God was in there with you.
Oh my
And
God. And I just felt it. I knew I was not alone. And she got baptized while she was in the NICU. They did
wow.
they come in, they have the priest and everyone came in and they
Yeah.
did the baptism even there. It
Okay.
was just knowing that she was covered,
Yes.
that she
Yes.
was covered from birth, and that he
Mm-hmm.
has a special plan for her life. He didn't bring her through that struggle for no reason. I believe
Yes.
that with every ounce of my being,
Right.
that
Right.
even her birth was purposeful, that
Amen.
it was meant to build something in her for her life journey
Right.
that none of us know, right? But I just
Mm-hmm.
believe that it wasn't an accident that she was born, and that she
Amen.
is a living testimony, and that
Yes.
no one in our family takes anything for granted. Every time we look at her, all we can do is thank God.
To God be the glory.
It's
And
all we
I
can do.
love the fact that your husband's mom, she was able to spend time with her, right?
Yes, 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 yes. And again, with all those boys and having that little girl,
Yes.
it has been now the only thing I would have to be really honest with you, as you said, being transparent, my only
Mhm.
greatest fear is that I don't spoil
Too
her.
much. She don't be rotten. She just be
She has just
rotten.
so much in the way. Everybody just gives and gives and gives.
Really?
Her story.
Yeah.
And she has so much stuff. We're actually at the point where we have to buy three teas because she has that much in the way of clothing and gifts and toys and
Oh.
books. Just giving, giving, giving. And I didn't even purchase all that stuff. I get mad because people don't give me a chance to buy anything. Give me a chance.
Can I do something for my
I ain't
baby?
got no cute clothes to buy. I have to buy off of them knucklehead boys. I know I got some cute clothes I want to buy and shop and all that kind of stuff. I don't even get a chance to.
Girl, and I'm getting ready to ask you what
Please.
size she wear because I got
I
to
was
get
like,
Melanie something.
no, ma'am. We just beg people to stop. And because we are actually at the 3T stage. She has enough clothing and items for years
Wow.
to come. And
And,
she actually now she's just a little over a year old, and she's now actually wearing the 24-month clothing.
okay, got you.
So
Got you.
yeah, so we are very, very grateful. She's putting her little sandals on and taking
Oh.
pictures, and she grins. And then we even do like the virtual, and she see her Gigi and she just grins. So I'm here and there in Charlotte.
Oh.
So yeah, we spend all kinds of time, and I have as a result of that journey, I have
Yes.
a sense of peace that I
Yeah.
didn't have before, right? In
Amen.
the sense
Amen.
that we all fret about, the little things about life, who said
Right.
what, and people annoy
Right.
us. And, we're just as human as we can be
Right.
and all of that. But that sense that these are just little things, because you just never know what incredible journey you may end up on, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
so letting things go, I let things go real quick now. It is what it
Right.
is. Not in
Yeah.
that like cavalier way, but
Yeah.
in the sense of this things in life is much bigger than this particular moment. And so
Right.
my ability to release things has changed. My perspective on life has changed. And I don't know who gonna watch this, but even my perspective on work has changed.
You know what? You're actually helping me with that tonight.
Yes. Yeah.
Because
I mean that
life
sincerely.
is so precious.
Yes,
And like I said
ma'am.
about Malcolm Jamal Warner, it's just a
Mhm.
reminder of the brevity of life. And
Yes,
so
honey.
all these things that we think are so important is really not.
Yes,
Really
ma'am.
not.
It's just a blip in time. And I do want to say, when you say that, just recently having lost my
Your mother.
mother-in-law,
Mm-hmm.
is forgive quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't have time to hold slights. We don't have time to be mad. We don't have time to have attitude about things, and to be offended,
Yes.
because we don't know.
Yes.
From one moment to the next,
Amen.
when
Amen.
Father may call someone home. And that does not, you don't want to be that,
Yeah.
be the last words you have said to someone, that you were offended, you had an attitude, you spoke to them sharply. You don't
Right.
have time. And I will tell you a little secret. I don't know if my husband wants me to share this, but my husband doesn't say goodbye to me when we
Okay.
hang out. He
Right.
always says later. And that's
Exactly.
cool, because he ain't a cool guy. Let me tell you something.
Yes.
Don't tell him I
I
said
have a
that.
friend. I have a friend, and we do that.
Yes.
He
Never
says,
says
"Sweetheart,
goodbye.
don't say
Yes.
goodbye. We say later. We go later,
Yes.
sweetheart. Yes, I
Just,
got it.
just making sure that, because I'm gonna see you later,
I will
honey.
see you
So,
later."
and that is truly like and I love him to no end. He has been another, and we'll tell that story another time. But nevertheless, just suffice it to say that he was a part of my prayer life as well. And
Okay.
God couldn't have delivered on a higher note for me when it comes to
Amen.
mine, right?
Amen.
Mr. Watson is something kind of special. I don't care what you say.
Okay. All right now.
But anyway,
I love
um,
that. I
yeah,
love that.
just
You know.
he knowing that you don't have time, and I love him to no end, but he can be quite annoying like anybody else. But
Right.
those moments, who has time for it, right? Because you just don't know. And so I encourage everyone that if there is anyone in your family, in your life, with whom you have had some level of disagreement, to pick up the phone, text, whatever it takes for you to communicate and heal those wounds. And I
Yes.
tell people I love you all the time, and not everyone
Yeah.
says I love you easily because they see
Right.
it as some level of sacred. But God said love in
Exactly.
abundance. You know, I love you. I love you, Victoria.
I love you, but listen, you know I love you. I remember when we were working
Yes,
in the Office of School Relations, and we had another admin come in
yes,
and
yes,
and be with us, and she said to me one day, she said, "Victoria, I noticed something," and I said, "What?" She said, "I've been sitting here listening to you, and you know you make the calls and everything, but then when you're talking to your family." You
yes,
always end the call with saying, "I love you." And I
yes,
said, "Yeah, I
ma'am.
do. I do." And I told her, and I'll
Amen.
tell you why. My father passed in 2008. And
Okay.
the day before he passed, I went into the house. My mother and father had just moved into an apartment. And they moved into the apartment, and my dad was older then. He was 77 when he passed. And he usually was the one who put the cable up and, got all
Mhm.
that, the technical stuff together. But he
Yeah.
taught me how to do it. And so
Okay.
I came into the apartment and I helped him. He was having a fit because he couldn't see his Western channel. He wanted to watch the Western movies. So
Okay.
I fixed everything, got the cable, and we worked it together. He told me what to do. And I put it together because he couldn't. And the last thing he said to me was he was standing at the TV and I was getting ready to go. And I said, "Okay, bye, Daddy. I'll see you tomorrow." And he turned around and he said, "I love you, baby girl." And I said, "I love you too, Daddy." And he was so grateful that I had done and got his Westerns up. And he watched the Westerns all night till he went to bed. But the next day he had a heart
Mm,
attack and he died.
mm.
So the last thing my dad said to me was, "I love you." And the last thing I
Amen.
said to him
Amen.
was, "I love
Amen.
you." And from that, I started telling everybody, "I love you." And I
Yes,
still do it. I
ma'am.
still do it today. I hear my children will tell me like 5 times in a day, "I love you."
Yes. Yes.
It
Yes.
has become a habit because, like you said, you never
You
know what's going
don't
to happen. And I
know.
want my people to know. I love all of you who are out there on Facebook and
Love what
YouTube.
it's love
I just love you.
generously, love in abundance.
Yes,
Love like Father loves you. Know that you are loved.
exactly.
Because I love you. Victoria loves you. You
That's
are
right.
loved. With
So
the love of Christ. We love. We love in
listen,
abundance.
listen, we did this, and as I thought was going to happen, the time was going to go so fast.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
feel like we didn't barely get the surface of something. But the point was we heard Melody's story and we
Yes.
heard how God has blessed you guys. I love you too, darling. We heard and we had a couple of comments. Like Hayata said, she had the love of a grandma. She just
Yeah, nothing like it. Woo!
And Andrea L. Hines said, truly a miracle. And I am so grateful and thankful that you came on the show. And I'm going to let you have almost the last word.
Okay.
If you had anything about your journey with Melody, and then, again, condolences on your mother-in-law's passing. I know you were close to her.
Mm-hmm.
If you have anything that you'd like to share with our listeners and our viewers, just about life or any word of encouragement, please take a few minutes to do that.
It's a lot that I like to say, but I think the thing that stands with me the most, having both the miracle of Melody and having lost my mother early and then my mother-in-law most recently, I want to remind everyone that today is the present that God has given us. Yes. And that we are truly, it is not just a quote or some pretty picture, but to live with joy today, for it is truly a gift from God.
Amen. Amen.
And that is what matters the most.
Amen. Melissa, thank you so much. You got to come back. You got to come back.
I have to come back. I love being with you. I love laughing with you. And I do want to say one thing, and I promise I'm going to be quiet. You are a gift, Victoria. Never, ever underestimate the power of your positive impact, my friend. I love you.
Okay. I was doing good. I was doing good until she said that. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
And I love you, Victoria.
Thank you. I love you too. And thank you. Because sometimes it is hard to see what others see. When you're struggling so much, when you are in the pain that I'm in, and it's just hard some days. And so I thank you. And we had a couple of comments. Michelle, my cousin Michelle, says blessings to you. And Nikaeta said, thanks for sharing your story. And Michelle then says that I am absolutely a gift. And I thank you. You are a gift to me too. You've been a blessing to me since I met you. And again, I've been trying to get you on the show for a long time, because I know that even before Melody, you had a lot to share, and that your positivity and your words of encouragement would be something that I know my viewers and listeners would love to hear. And again, my cousin Michelle says, thank you, Dr. Watson, for sharing your story.
Absolutely my pleasure.
So listen, everybody, we're going to sign off right now. I can't even have C because of the tears. But once again, God has met us here. And I was telling Melissa that this is always, always my mantra, that if one person is blessed by anything that is said on the show, or anything I say and do in life, then I know that I have done what God has asked me to do. And so I feel like He's blessed us again. I've done what He's asked me to do.
Amen.
I showed up, and when I show up, He shows up. And so
He's with you.
I'm grateful. Remember, the replay is going to be on this Saturday. Hang out a second with me, Melissa.
Yes.
Don't go yet. And the replay is this Saturday at 6:00 p.m. But once we're off the live and the video is shown, go back and share it. There's someone who really needs to hear what Melissa and I have had to say tonight. And I thank you, my viewing and listening audience, for being here once again. I will have another guest on August 11th. That'll be in couple of weeks, but that'll be my first show in August. Will be August 11th, and I'm celebrating all month long in August because my birthday is the 18th. So look forward. I thank you again for being here, and come back. Please come back, and remember to live life out loud, live life on purpose, and live life victoriously. Good night, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I pray something you heard on today's show has helped you and has given you the encouragement to keep on pressing. Let me know your thoughts. You can send me an email at livinglifevictoriously1@gmail.com. Also, for more inspirational content, you can check out my blog called Still Waters over at wordpress.com. walk in victory daily and join me the second and fourth Mondays of each month. Remember, live life victoriously.